Last time on Hakai. While Goku's cover hasn't been completely blown yet, he's now under the close watch of none other than Frieza. Simultaneously, we join Piccolo and Pikkon as they journey to the ruins of Zalama. Piccolo's divinity. Back with Piccolo and Pikkon, we return to the so-called ruins of Zalama. The storm they fought through is now behind them, and standing before him is something unlike anything Piccolo expected to find in this wasteland. An ancient and massive dragon-shaped structure. Piccolo looks over the incredible sight, calling it beautiful. Pikkon agrees. He found it majestic too. The first time he saw it, he was fascinated by it. And even now, even after already knowing what this place is, he still feels that same sense of awe. As the Guardian heals himself, Piccolo regenerates his turban and cloak. Still taking in the sight of the enormous dragon before him, he points out how Pikkon called this place the ruins of Zalama. That name is not something Piccolo can just ignore. After all, there's only one Zalama he knows that would make sense here. So he asks Pikkon if he's referring to the great god, the one said to have created the Super Dragon Balls. Pikkon confirms Piccolo's assumption. This place is connected to that very Zalama. But knowing the name only raises more questions, because if these are truly the ruins of Zalama, then what exactly is really here? And more importantly, what does any of this have to do with Piccolo's training? Now healed up, Pikkon gestures for Piccolo to follow him. The answers will not be found standing outside. Together, the two make their way towards the massive structure. Entering through the dragon's mouth, this place is not some simple ruin. It's an absolute labyrinth. The path continues deeper and deeper, and almost everywhere Piccolo looks, there are drawings, engravings covering the ancient walls. Our hero takes in the sight and inquires about all of it. What are these drawings and writings? They're not just random artwork. They seem to tell several different stories. As far as Pikkon knows, many records of all the realms are engraved here in the ruins of Zalama. The history of certain peoples, major events involving the realms, and even secrets surrounding the origin of everything that exists. The truth is that this place is one of the greatest sources of knowledge in all of existence. A true paradise for anyone seeking knowledge. A place where truths older than civilizations may be preserved. If, of course, one can actually understand what is engraved here. Because knowledge like this is not useful to just anyone.
Wait a second. This is... Oh!
This looks like planet Namek, and that looks a lot like Frieza's ship. Don't tell him this is when Frieza's army attacked Namek. Looking further, we can also see the moment Piccolo fought Frieza after fusing with Nail. And another is definitely Goku after transforming into a Super Saiyan and fighting Frieza at his full power. It's as if the entire history of the Namekians is engraved here. Pikkon starts. From the looks of it, the ruins of Zalama contain the entire history of the Namekian people and the Dragon Balls, including recent history, which seems to be written almost in real time. As the newcomer takes it all in, He never imagined a place like this could exist. Moving forward, there's still much to see. Asking where they're going. They're heading to the tip of the dragon's tail. It's there the answer to Piccolo's journey lies. Arriving to an empty hall, Piccolo wonders what he's supposed to do here. Pikkon points it's at the back of this hall. That's where his answer is.
This is...
Actually, Piccolo has no idea what this is. He asks Pikkon to explain it to him. Pointing. He draws attention to a sequence of what appears to be an unknown language. It's explained he doesn't know for sure either, but he theorized a few things the last time he was here. He doesn't understand what's written in these runes, but he imagines it's some kind of ancient language created by Zalama. Also believing what's written here is the key to understanding the other engravings on this wall. As for these spheres with dragons inside them, he believes they are the Super Dragon Balls. But he doesn't know who those dragons are. The great dragon that comes next, or at least as far as he believes, is the supreme deity Zalama, who is apparently bestowing some kind of power upon this Namekian being. Which leads him to believe this warrior receiving the blessing is the great Namekian god. But Namekian god? Piccolo's never heard of such a thing. Besides, he still doesn't understand why this place has such a strong connection to the Namekians. The answer is simple. The supreme deity Zalama, the creator god of the Super Dragon Balls, is the father of all Namekians.
The father of all Namekians! You mean Zalama was the creator of my race?
Exactly. The Namekian race belongs to a class they call a primordial race. A race that was created directly by a supreme deity and has direct lineage from them. Piccolo wanted to know why Cosmo and the Warden of Passage treated him with so much respect. That's the reason. Piccolo belongs to a primordial race and therefore possesses a bit of the essence of a supreme deity. Trying to process this. Come to think of it, Piccolo points out how this Zalama created the Dragon Balls, just like the Namekians do. So that makes sense. But Gohan was also treated very well by Cosmo and the Warden of Passage. So does that mean the Saiyan race is also a primordial race? Which is also correct. The Saiyans descend from another supreme deity, not Zalama. But then why do beings created by Zalama and another supreme deity live in Zeno's realm? Zeno, of course, being such a supreme deity. And that happened sometime after Zarat's invasion of Zeno's realm, when immigration of certain races from other realms took place. But that's a story they can save for later. Pikkon wants to focus on what they're doing here right now. Piccolo agrees. With all this, he now wants to know why he brought him here and what he himself has to do with this so-called Namekian god. Getting right to it, the Celestial Leader reveals Piccolo is going to be the one who will decipher the code on the wall and become the successor of the legendary Namekian god.
You want me to become a god?
Piccolo doesn't even think that's possible. From what he can see of the Namekian depicted here, this is a being who is far above himself. But in all the universes of Zeno's realm, Piccolo is the strongest among Namekians. Pikkon is certain he's the one who can become this divine figure, and they'll never know without trying. Pikkon explains what Piccolo's training is really meant to become. If you manage to become this divinity, it will be a fundamental step towards winning the battle against the 5 great celestial mages. Piccolo thinks back on everything he believed this training was supposed to be. He thought the goal of his training here was simply to increase his power. Can he do that without becoming a divinity? Pikkon expresses how the Namek may have trained his entire life. And even with that, a celestial mage could kill him with a simple flick of a finger. How else could he gain so much power in such a short time? That reality hitting. He relents, he's right. He will do what he asks. Excellent news! Without much instruction, Pikkon tells him to now try to understand what's written in those runes. Wondering how he's supposed to do that. The Guardian feels that everything written on these have magical properties. Those engravings were probably made by Zalama himself and contain his magical energy. As one of his descendants, perhaps he can assimilate the energy and understand what's written. Giving it a try. Appearing to absorb some kind of knowledge, Pikkon asks what happened. Is he okay? Still trying to gather himself, Piccolo mentions there really is a great magical power surrounding these writings. It's all very strange. But it was as if the writings came out of the walls and transcribed themselves into his mind. And somehow, he was able to understand what they said. Excitedly asking what those things said. He tells Pikkon that to continue and understand everything that's on this wall, they said he needs to become a complete being. But isn't he a complete person already? He should be able to continue. The Namekian stops him. He should be complete. He became complete when he fused with Kami several years ago. Nonetheless, he is not able to continue. With an exhale, the Guardian drops to the floor saying that's too bad. Just out of curiosity, how many Namekians has he fused with? Giving the answer we already know. The first fusion came with Nail. He was a warrior on Namek who wanted to merge to defeat Frieza. And the second was the former Guardian of Earth. Kami and his own father, King Piccolo, were once a single being, a nameless Namekian. However, in order to become the Earth's Guardian, that nameless Namekian needed to rid himself of all the evil in his heart. The good half of that Namekian became Kami, while the evil half called itself Piccolo, a malevolent Namekian who terrorized Earth. His father ended up dying at Goku's hands. But shortly before that, he gave life to the Piccolo we know today. He then came to form a bond with Kami, similar to the one his father had. He fused with them at the time he needed to face android enemies on Earth. When Kami and he fused, his power increased greatly, and he was able to become a complete being. Pausing. That's it. Pikkon believes he knows the truth. Piccolo is not as complete as he thinks. Think about it. Perhaps he felt like he was a complete being when he fused with Kami, since he had a bond with them because of his father's genes. However, the truth is, at the time they merged, Kami himself was not a complete being because he did not possess his other original half, which is technically Piccolo's father, not Piccolo himself. By that logic, he cannot be complete as long as Kami within him is incomplete. They need to make him truly complete in order to proceed with this ritual to turn him into the great Namekian god. Inquiring just how they're gonna do that. With the Glen, they're going to have to fuse Piccolo and his father.
Oh! Have you lost your mind?
Meanwhile, on planet Vegeta of the past, the summer tournament continues at full throttle. The announcer shouts after several incredible matches. They have finally reached the round of 16. With Gine in the stands, they're finally getting close to the end. Only the best are left now, so the fights are going to get more and more intense. Though she wonders, will Turles be okay? Then realizing how odd it is, she finds herself possibly more worried about him than Bardock. She tries to snap herself out of it. No way! She tries to tell herself it's because she knows Bardock is a very experienced warrior while Turles isn't. It's normal for her to be more worried about him, right? Back in the contestant quarters, Goku shouts, "Look at that!" All of them managed to make it to the round of 16. How awesome! But if we're down to 16 fighters over 8 matches, and 6 of those 16 fighters are in this room, there's a good chance that... Tapping his mic, the announcer calls out the next match. We have 2 warriors who are teammates on the same squad. Ushering Bardock and Tora to the ring. Inevitably, 2 members of the fighters we know will now have to compete against one another. A point even Goku makes. He figured this would happen eventually. For Tora, he's just excited to finally get his rematch. Addressing this to his leader, who continues a stoic nature and doesn't offer a response. Watching, Goku wonders, is it him or is there a weird atmosphere between the 2 of them? Baja brings up how Bardock and Tora were great rivals in the past. For Tora, to join the team he was forming, Bardock defeated him. But the truth is, to this day, Tora still wants to settle the score with him. This fight is going to be very interesting to watch. When a mysterious Saiyan sneaks by. He pulls out a scouter and directs it at Goku. Though his presence doesn't escape our hero's attention. Being spotted, he quickly turns tail and runs. As the Hakai beast warns Turles, they have a problem. Was the spy reacting to being caught? Or was he able to pick up on something very troublesome on his detector?